Stream Collectibles here, and I've decided I want to tell you guys something. Come here. It's a secret. In case you didn't know this, and don't tell anybody, okay? I get in a lot of statues. Which leads me to my point. So, I get in, as you guys see, anywhere from 5 to 20 statues a month. Sometimes less, sometimes more. And every once in a while, you go through this dry spell, whether, you know, it's a 2 hours or 24 hours where you can't unbox stuff. And then you go through mega crazy statue arrivals. Well, today is Wednesday, August 7th, 2019. And in the next 10 days, I have about 15 possible pieces arriving, 12 for sure. So I'm going to kick it off with 10 days of statues. Starting today, Wednesday, every single day we're going to do a statue video. So I'm really excited. It's going to be kind of crazy and a lot of work on my end because it's mostly going to be new stuff with 1 or 2 exceptions. I always have a stockpile of stuff I haven't aired yet. So with that, I want to ask you guys one question.
Do you believe in magic?
Extreme Collectibles here presenting custom quarter scale Phoenix Force Magik. It's with a K. Magik with a K. This is a custom piece. Again, as a reminder, we don't talk about where customs come from. And just to make you feel a little bit better, if you're wondering where can I get these, you mostly can't. Anytime I'm reviewing a custom, 99% of the time they're sold out. You can try and find it secondhand. I suggest you look at Facebook statue buy sell trade groups. This is actually, Magik is a character that not many people know about, and I don't have a ton of knowledge on her. I know that she's, her natural mutant ability is teleportation. God, I drew a blank there. Similar to Nightcrawler. She's not related to Nightcrawler. She actually is related to Colossus. She's Colossus's sister. And this is the Phoenix Force version. What's that? Well, there's a comic series where Dark Phoenix, Jean Grey, her powers were released into 5 different X-Men. Magik is one of them, and this is a custom piece, and they were making all 5 of them. I actually already have number 1. This is number 2. Number 1 is Cyclops, and I have reviewed that. It is not posted on my channel yet, though. I just haven't got to posting it. It will be posted during these 10 days of statues that I talked about in the intro. So she is the second piece, and actually here's a picture of all 3 of them together, Dark Phoenix, Magik, and Cyclops, and I haven't seen this yet, so I'm taking this photo after the video. Hopefully the lighting's okay. I know it's going in a room where there's shitty lighting. And I'm going to show you guys a picture of what all 5 of these together are going to look like. And as a reminder, these are custom. I can't help you get these. I'm sorry. But here's a picture of all of them. Looks pretty badass. So as you can see, it's Colossus, Namor, Cyclops, Emma, and of course, Magik. So she also not only teleportation, but she learns sorcery. So she knows, so ironically, Magik knows how to do magic. Got this in. The ES on Cyclops, you guys about to watch something really dangerous? Was 65, I believe. So I'd imagine she'd be about the same. She is. What do you know? So they made 65 of these. The retail price was right around $800 or $900 plus shipping. I am in this custom group, but I actually didn't nab any of these. I'm nabbing them all secondhand from a really great guy. I actually give him a shout out in the Cyclops video if you're curious who that is. But you can't transfer POs in the group, so he gets it and then he sells it to me. I do have quite a few other POs from this group going on. Let's do a quick measuring on her. So very short, probably about 18 inches with her horns. Width pretty wide, 19 because of the sword, and then depth is going to be nominal, about 11 inches. She did come with a really cool art box. Here you go. Here's a picture of the art box. I'm not a big fan of art boxes. I hate boxes. I have them stored in an Indiana Jones warehouse. Here's the first layer of foam packaging. Custom black foam straps like normal, and then here's the second layer. So she comes in a number of pieces. The base is obviously one. Her entire body minus her head is one. The sword and the bottom of the hilt are separate pieces because it slides right in. And then her armor right here, her spiked armor, actually fits in via magnet. And she does have a couple switch outs, so let's check those out. First of all is the horn portrait you're looking at. And then you have a non-horned portrait. And you can display her with her fire sword, or just the normal soul sword. Her sword obviously is magical as well, so she's a pretty kick-ass character. She's very, very powerful. Kind of, in my opinion, the X-Men version of Scarlet Witch. That's just kind of the way I think of her, especially when she's imbued with the Phoenix Force power. Very, very strong. So let's talk about the concept and design of the piece. And some of the things I'm going to say, I probably said in my Cyclops video, but again, they're a set, so they're all together. First of all, it's a museum pose. Museum means it is static. She's kind of posing for a picture, if you will. She's not necessarily in an action pose, where Cyclops is more of an action pose. And Magik is sitting there on the black and gold base that matches all the characters, and there's just basic concrete on top of it. Cyclops had some burnt concrete with a fire hydrant, which you're going to see in a little bit. And she's kind of standing there, definitely flowing in the wind. You see her clothes, you see her hair, you see the flames, all flowing in the same way. And she's just a badass. She's either ready for battle or she just completed a battle, and really shows her power. Kind of, that's what I really like. It's such a simple museum pose, and it's a really simple statue, to be honest with you, but it really shows off that power, and I think they're all going to look so cool together with XM Dark Phoenix in the back, even though that's a little misleading as far as storyline. Regarding the design, I do have a few things that I don't know if they're good or bad. Well, first of all, I really like the fact that all the bases are the same, and we're going to look at the paint and sculpt of that, so you can all tell it's meant to be together. I have a few other pieces that it's kind of a theme, you know, with sentinels and things of that nature. I do like the fact that her shoulder armor right here, not only is it removable so you can display it without, but it's just a magnet and there's no key or peg to insert, so you can go either way on that. I don't want to take it off because of the hair right here. Also with the sword, I think the design is really good with you can screw in the hilt, so it's easy to come in, easy to come out, no big issues there. They did a great job with her uniform and hair and no breakages upon shipping. Probably the one issue I have with design is, here's a picture of both of her portraits right next to each other. There's a slight difference in her expression around her mouth, or maybe there's not at all, I'm just seeing things, and the only difference is the horns. To me, if you're going to do two different portraits, take that opportunity to really do two different portraits. So this group is the same group of the Psylocke that I recently reviewed, and one of the things I really liked about that piece is the three different portraits. Like the hair was completely different, the expression was. So I wish she didn't have the exact same hair and almost the exact same expression. It's almost like they just made multiple and helmet or portraits of the same and stuck horns on them. So I think that was an opportunity. One issue you guys are going to see when we go through the paint and sculpt next is there is a paint dot on it, which I was made aware of by the seller. So I mean, it is what it is, but let's dive right into the paint and sculpt. So starting at the bottom, this black gold base, it's very shiny. Stands out, really neat, and I think the colors just really exemplify the Phoenix Force and the Phoenix power. And then on the front it has the golden emblem of the Phoenix. Good touch to all the different bases, they all have that. And then, as you know, I'm a big critique of concrete. this is really well done concrete. I like it a lot better than the Cyclops base. Cyclops base is a different color, like it's burnt, but I think the sculpt is really good on here, the different cracks and pebbles. And they didn't use too many different colors on this. It's not the best concrete I've ever seen, but it's good. It looks really sharp. It says a lot when it doesn't have to. And then moving on to Magik, a lot of cool stuff on here. I really like what they did with the sculpt and paint. And I currently own 5 pieces from this group. So it's her, the Cyclops you haven't seen yet, Fastball Special, Black Superman, and the Psylocke. And I have, I think, about 6, 7 more coming. And each one I get, I feel it gets better and better, which that's really, really cool. Not that the first ones were not good, but I keep seeing improvement. So that's really cool. So let's start at our boots. First of all, it's this very shiny material. It looks like mixed media. It does not look like sculpted boots, which is awesome. It's a kind of a different black shine than the base. And she has these gold air holes throughout, and the paint is really clean on most of these. There's one tiny hole that it's not. So really good job by the factory paint. And I like the folds in her boots. Really remind me of peacock leather boots that I wear on weekends when I go clubbing. And then here on the back she has these golden straps, and you see this gold black theme throughout the first 2 statues, and I assume it'll be through the other ones when I get those. I've seen pictures, but I haven't looked that close. And then moving under her legs, this is really, other than her face, most of the skin that's showing. Not a lot of definition. She's very fit. I like the fact they didn't go too muscular on her. She's very, very pale, which is true to the character. So really nice job. I like the different flesh tones and skin tones. It almost looks like you can see some, when you turn it to the light, you can see different shades of blue in there, like where there would be veins. Not like Arnold Schwarzenegger veins, but I don't know if that's just me seeing things or maybe it's magic. And then moving up, you can see part of her ass. I haven't really looked that close underneath, but I'm sure it looks good. I like how this is very sexy, but it's not too revealing. Especially if you have kids in your house and you're sensitive to that. I have ARH Medusa where her nips, the nip covers come off. So I put it with the nip covers on. It's interesting. My kids, I expose them to a lot, but not to nudity. That's a little too far. But like my 7-year-old, his favorite movies are the Deadpool movies, and he has never seen them edited. He always sees them unedited. But they do a good job. They don't repeat stuff. For the most part, I probably have something I can't do on camera that my 11-year-old came home and did, and he didn't know what it meant, but I'll just give you a hint. So moving back on to Magik, her uniform. I love the uniform. As I said, they did a great job on this. First of all, the paint. That red just really pops, and there's these shades of black all throughout. And the sculpt is fantastic. Not only the folds and wrinkles and how it's flowing in the wind and the directionality of it, both on the front and the back. And then moving up, she has kind of that breastplate armor. Pretty big knockers too, as most comic book chicks do. I wonder if they get in her way when she's fighting. I guess she's magic, so she doesn't have to. And the gold on here, it's almost a different color gold, or they put in some black, kind of, so it's not as shiny as the gold that was on her boots. And that same thing is on kind of her undergarments. And you see the same straps that she had on her boots when you look at her from the side. Again, very clean paint. And then her shoulder pad has a shinier red and the same color of gold on it. So I think it's the same color red, but there's no black streaks, and it's quite a bit shinier. And then moving down her right arm, she has the same material she has on her boots. And then air holes, because she probably gets hot. I don't know why I said that, but then her left arm, absolutely kick ass. I didn't even notice this when I ordered it, because this was kind of an impulse buy for me. I love the spikes coming out. I mean, this just makes her look scary as hell, and a chick I would not fuck with. Of course, it could be this big ass sword that makes her scary as hell. So looking at this sword right here, this is the fire sword. I don't like the paint on the blade. I understand what they were trying to go for. I like the, that it's singed near the hilt, but I think they missed the ball on the paint on the blade. The paint on the other blade looks much better. Obviously it's not fiery. The fire effect is okay. I will display it with this just because it's cooler, but I think the other sword is actually more well done. The hilt looks good, kind of this magical stone type presence to it, then wrapped in leather on the bottom. And then good sculpt on her hands, both the gloved and ungloved hand. And there, on this hand, you can actually see some of the veins I swore I was seeing in her legs. But nice job on the fingers. And the same continuity with the skin color. And same thing for her portrait here. Same continuity with the skin color. A little bit of makeup you can tell on her. Not only her lips, but around her eyes and on her cheekbones. They have her eyes whited out. One really unique thing is they have some eyelashes, but they're only on the edges of her eyes. And they are painted in, they're not sculpted, but they are eyelashes, so that makes sense. But good sculpt to her face, and I think it's a great facial expression. It's the, I'm still very feminine, but don't fuck with me. Kind of like my wife. Her hair is okay. I wish they would have differentiated the strands a little more. The flow is really nice. And I think maybe they could have added a few streaks of darker colors in there, not just subtly to kind of differentiate that maybe. Horns look really good. I mean, I don't know what horns are supposed to look like, but these look good. So one other interesting part too, and I don't know if I'm going to put it in some of the pictures, but you can see a more variation of color on the front of her hair than the back. And actually, technically, it's the back of her hair, just the way it's flowing, it's in the front. So right up here is kind of what I'm talking about. But so very, very cool statue. I love it. This is the one I was least excited about of the 5. The 3 I haven't gotten, ironically, are the ones I'm most excited about, and those are coming next. So I think, I don't remember which one's next. It might be Emma. But I'll find out, and gonna go with that Emma instead of XM's. XM's just came up for PO, and I practiced restraint. Proud of me. So with that, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, especially 10 days of statues, cool shit like this. A bunch of them are customs. Tomorrow I have a mystery box coming in, and I think I'm going to review that one. So Thursday will be a mystery box. It is a statue. It is a custom statue. It's one of 4. I don't know which one it is because they never gave me a tracking number. So really excited about that. And then I have a kick-ass piece coming tomorrow that we'll review on Saturday, which is just going to blow your mind away, made by Infinity Studios. So, and then Friday, a piece I've been waiting over 2 years for. And it's just going to keep coming. Some really cool video segments. And of the 10 days of statues, one of them will be something everyone's been asking for. So that's all the hints I'm giving. So this was day 1. I will see you tomorrow for day 2 of 10 days of statues with the Extreme Collection. Let me know what you think of Magik. And I really appreciate you guys watching. Take care. Do you believe in magic?